All right, welcome in. How is everybody doing? Just let me check some audio stuff here. Um, yeah, everything's all good. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Just doing a little quick one. Um, just figured I would come through and get some college football in before um, Santa Claus shows up. So I want to take this time to thank everybody who has supported the podcast uh, throughout this year. Appreciate everybody. Uh, it's been a interesting ride, to say the least, being a one-man band for the majority of this year. But hey, it is what it is. We'll talk a little college football, the playoffs. Um, I know everybody's chomping at the bit. It's kind of rough. I get it. Not having any football really this week, but we'll talk some TV numbers. And there was a lot of criticism on the Miami uh, uh, oh, I'm trying to think of it, but there was a lot of criticism on why Miami played at noon instead of in the other time slot. I totally get that on why they did that on the college football side of things. Um, also, hold on, let me drop this in there. I'm a little scrambled at the moment, but we'll get it together. Get the phone number up and out there for the folks. Probably not going to go super long tonight with the whole Santa Claus angle. Just that. It's. Hold on, everybody. I am trying to put fires out. But yeah, we'll talk the TV numbers. Also, number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. Also, Dave's here, pops up early and says, if you ain't in bed by midnight, Santa ain't going to bring you anything. So that is Dave's advice for everybody. Also, the phone line is open. Number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. But nothing too crazy. We're going to talk some TV numbers and some of the other stuff. Also, right now in the Capital One, what bowl is this? The Hawaii Bowl. I thought it was something to do with Capital One, but didn't get all the info. But Hawaii playing a home bowl game. Cal comes out there, very geographical on that scheduling. Wonder how that worked out, but they're all knotted up 21-21, and it looks like Cal's threatening in the fourth quarter. So I'm sure not everybody gives a rat's ass about that. So, but we'll get into it. College football weekend, TV numbers have popped out. The NFL's domination over college football. I know a lot of the college football fans are not necessarily going to want to hear that, but it's fascinating to say the least. Bears Packers did 36.8 million views on Saturday compared to the top college football game that only did a 10-6. So just put that in perspective. But overall, Bears Packers did well. I guess that was combined. But Bears Packers versus JMU Oregon, it did a 21.34 million. JMU Oregon did 4.4 million. So there is that. Also, phone line is open. Number to call 260-255-4069 is the number to call. So there's some of that, but that's the whole reason why they didn't put Miami at night, because they didn't want to put it up against Bears Packers. Would it have probably done a bigger number, maybe, than what it did at noon? But they were hoping to take their best game and put it in an uncontested time slot. I think that was their thought process behind that. Just for S's and G's, I think that's why they did that. They wanted to take their best game, put it at the unchallenged time slot, and that would be their best bet to look to something to show to their advertisers. Say, look, on an NFL day in the noon window, we did, a 10-6 or whatever the Miami A&M game did. So it's all about the spin zone and how you spin it in the whole TV world. But what do I know? Also, some of the stuff that's coming out on the Ole Miss side of things, I don't really have an opinion on this too heavy. Pete Thamel comes in with Trinidad Chambliss after transferring from Division II Ferris State College in Michigan. He's trying to get an extra year of eligibility. The waiver process is highly complex, but there's no definitive answer. Thamel goes on to say this is a sensitive manner, or this matter is not just a sensitive manner. Tom Mars wrote the attorney. So it's going to be a lot of legal jockeying. I don't know whether Trinidad will get his extra year or not. It's going to be interesting to see how that whole thing shakes out. Also, if you're new here, I figured I would throw this out there, but if you're new here, hold on. I guess I better check the iPad to see if anybody is called, in case I missed one. Got the volume up. Hold on 1 second. Let me just double check and make sure everything is going. But yeah, I think on the Trinidad Chambliss thing, it's going to be interesting. There's going to be some probably upset people, and whether he was wronged or right, or whether he could get the extra year or not. It would be good for him because it would be highly lucrative on the college space of it. Don't know what his NFL draft prospects are. I would say they're probably around the same, as maybe a little higher than possibly Diego Pavia, but at this point, it's not quite draft silly season yet, and we'll have to see, all the stuff that comes out, because typically when there's that after the pro day, there's just all kinds of stuff. What do I think Chambliss gets an extra year? Maybe, maybe not, but we'll see. Also, just to remind everybody, phone line is open. Number to call 260-255-4069. And wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, and just going over some of the other stuff. The Cook kid from Jacksonville State plans to enter the transfer portal. I would say that he is he's the current leader in FBS, 5'11", 200-pound running back junior, 1 year at eligibility. He's the FBS leading rusher with 1,659 yards. So played at Jacksonville State down there in Alabama. I would say he's probably going to be on a lot of people's radars, to say the least. So it's going to be interesting. As I'm looking at some other stuff, South Carolina Makes Dylan Stewart, I guess, the highest paid defensive player again. I guess we'll have to see how that whole thing shakes out. It's whatever. South Carolina, I think Beamer is on the hot seat. I know there's going to be some Gamecock fans that are not going to totally agree with me, but I think if Beamer doesn't win big this year, and I'm not even saying that it's playoffs or bust for him, I'm just saying they got to look better than what they did last year. There was a lot of hype coming in. They're bringing Lenora Sellers back. I think Beamer's making some changes on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm not 100% South Carolina hater by any means. I think Shane Beamer as a coach he's all right. He doesn't do anything to me that I think is like, whoa, huge red flag. But I mean, he's a little odd. But a lot of these guys at the highest level of college football are kind of odd, to be honest. But we'll see where it checks out. And then there's a lot of I wouldn't say angst, but there's a lot of optimism. And I'm not putting this as an indictment on Matt Campbell. I think for him to get his sea legs under him, I'm not saying that it's like he doesn't know what he's doing now that he's at Penn State or anything like that. I'm just saying that he's going to have to completely retool the roster the way he wants it. Kind of what it took him at Iowa State. I think it took him 2-3 years at Iowa State after he left Toledo, to be honest. So it'll be interesting times up there in Happy Valley. If I would encourage Penn State fans with anything, do not look at the success that James Franklin has at Virginia Tech opposed to what Matt Campbell is doing currently at Penn State, because the leagues are just different. Buckeye Nation. Where do you think Aaron Nolan transfers to? That's a good question. It would have to. I don't know how much eligibility Haynes King has left. I think he would probably Georgia Tech. Go back home, Georgia Tech. But I almost think that his stock is damaged, kind of the way he left Ohio State and then doesn't see this field at all, hardly at South Carolina, and then Lenora Sellers comes back. I wouldn't be shocked if you don't find him in the group of 5 level somewhere. But although Aaron Nolan's dad did come out whenever all the rumors were circulating about him at Ohio State that he was firm that he was not transferring. Well, what happened at the end of the year? He transferred. So take that for what it is in face value. I don't know who Aaron Nolan's representation is. Maybe he's got a reputable person repping him, but here's the other problem when it comes to the transfer portal. You don't know who's repping a lot of these kids. Also, I'm just going to be 100% honest with that. You don't know, because out of the reputable agents out there, I think they have over almost 2,000 registered agents. And I'm pretty sure anybody could register as an agent, because it's a lot of uncles, brothers, cousins repping these kids. And I'm just telling you, I hate to even put it on the NCAA, if they would just come out as individual universities and say, hey, if you're not a certified agent that goes through somebody's company like CAA, if you have no reputable company going through you, or that you're representing, holy shit, look at Hawaii on the board. That's a tutty. Where'd he go? What a throw. What a catch. If anybody's watching that. Oh, they called it incomplete. Man, that's tough sledding. Do you think Kienholz transfers from OSU? Here's my thing on Lincoln Kienholz with Ohio State. Lincoln Kienholz, when he was recruited to Ohio State, he was a project quarterback. If it would have been advantageous for him to leave, it would have been this past portal season. But he didn't. He stayed. I think he probably got a little bit of a bump in pay. I think he likes Ohio State. Unless Kienholz gets it to where he wants to get that burr or the itch to go back home or go play somewhere. I don't think being the backup quarterback at Ohio State is the worst gig in the world. Columbus is a great city, been there many times, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility that he stays at Ohio State. Would it be good for his career? No, but I kind of think Lincoln maybe has came to grips with possibly not being a NFL quarterback and wants to get his degree. And if he likes everything in Columbus, he could, probably land a job this time next year after the playoff run in the Columbus area and completely change his life. He did everything the right way. There are still kids out there that do that do put the team ahead of their own personal goals. And obviously, I think he came out of North Dakota. Hell of a kid. Hell of a golfer from what I hear. So there's that. Also, the phone line is open. Number to call, 260-255-4069. If you have anything pressing, you want to call, the floor is yours. We're just talking some college football topics. Good baseball player. Yeah, I've heard he's I think he was like a 12-letter athlete at his high school or something crazy like that. But there was a lot of knocks on him coming out of high school. But there's that. Lincoln Kienholz, hell of a kid. There's still speculation going on with the DeBoer to Michigan. Don't know, but very bizarre. I don't know why in the world you would want to leave Alabama. Now the Alabama fans, I can hear them booing me already, but the speculation on DeBoer, I don't think DeBoer is going to leave Alabama. What's up? What up, my guy? For some reason, YouTube has changed it to everybody's at on the YouTube thing. So if your screen name was different than what it was, I may not recognize some people. So, but I appreciate everybody who's pulled up on Christmas Eve. Also, the phone line is open for folks. If you want to call, it's on the bottom on the ticker below. Number to call. It's been like that for a while. Yeah. Number to call, 260-255-4069. If you want to call, get your call in now, I guess. Open floor, we got Cal. Just lost the lead to Hawaii, 7 minutes left in that game. Hope everybody's having a Merry Christmas out there. But just running over some brief topics and whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm all ears. I'll offer my opinion. Even though my opinion will probably wouldn't buy you a Starbucks, it might buy you a Speedway coffee. But hey, Speedway, no knock on you. Speedway, you want to sponsor? You can give us a ring. I'm all ears on that. YouTube changed it because of spamming and AI is what I was told by YouTube. Oh, that's cool. Also, if you guys are new here, don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but that's a pretty sick avatar, I will say. Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. But if oh no, what happened here? Oh, PBU. But phone line is open. But Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, that's awesome. Also, do us the biggest favor and hit that like and subscribe button. We typically do live streams 6 days a week. All these new age kids never watched Terminator 2, I guess. How long do we have left before the robots? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Terminator 2. Not that I'm trying to pile on, but have you guys seen Edward Furlong? I guess he got sober, and I guess time passed by on old Edward there, the kid from Terminator 2. But also, phone lines open. I'm probably at this time of night, I'm sure everybody's getting ready to go play Santa Claus. That's something also, but yeah, Terminator 2, AI, all that fun stuff. Yeah, phone line is open as well. Thank you about the avatar. I like it a lot. Yeah. Also, I guess we can get to some of the college football playoff stuff. Does anybody want to talk about bowl games? I know that sounds like we're beating a dead horse there on the bowl games. I don't know how much longer it's sustainable. I guess the 2 weeks that a lot of people in the nation that are off, ESPN needs programming in between New Year's, the Christmas and New Year's. ESPN needs programming, and football rules the roost. There's not enough NFL product, but a lot of the games in the catalog is just pretty much the college football playoff games. So we'll kick it off there. Also, Rich is out tonight. The Miami, Ohio State. A lot of stuff going back and forth between both fan bases. So there's that. We have the Ole Miss Georgia game, and then we have Texas Tech and Oregon, which I think that's going to be a fascinating game as well. I don't think a lot of people will kind of understand the magnitude of that game, because I feel like Texas Tech owes Oregon one, and I think it'll be an interesting dynamic when those two teams lock horns. Vegas has got it as Oregon has, as of now, as it sits right now, Oregon minus 2.5. So, and I'm also with Dan on this one. I think these round of games. Could you imagine Alabama coming up to Indiana on New Year's Day? Oh boy, New Year's Day, 4:00, the sun sets. It gets cold in Indiana. I'm just telling you. But I think it would be an unbelievable atmosphere at Athens. It would be awesome at Texas Tech, and especially at in Columbus too. I think Ohio State, Ole Miss, some of the schools that really wanted home playoff games kind of set the bar. Not that I'm, campaigning for Ohio State here. Oh, I missed a call. I guess I'll just call this person back, whoever called. Hello, you called the call-in show?
Yeah, sure did.
Who do we got here?
My name's Rogue. I'm in the chat right now.
Oh, gotcha, Rogue. What you want to talk about, man?
Yeah, sure did. Just college football.
My
name's Rogue. I'm in the chat.
Turn your device down so we don't have an echo in the background, if you would, please.
I did.
Okay.
I've got it down.
Yeah, that's better. So what are your thoughts on this college football bowl season?
I did. I've got it down. Well, I did. Well, I noticed there's a little bit of a delay when I called in to the show.
Yeah.
It seems like when I talk to you, then I hear it back on the show. Like there's a little bit of a delay when I called in to the show.
Yeah, it'll are you watching on your phone or TV or a different device? Because there's a little bit of a delay between YouTube and the live show. It's like a 15-second delay.
Okay.
So there's that. It's just a simple thing that YouTube makes you do.
No, that's all good. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lower the volume on my computer and just try and talk with you on the phone here.
Yeah, that'll be best.
If you want to know about my opinions as far as college football goes, well, I think we got a great playoff going, and I'm really happy that they're doing the playoff now. It's such an improvement over what they used to do, because now there's teams that are actually fighting to win the championship, and it's not just like, oh, you're going to be in the championship because you had a good regular season. It's just not the same thing. It's more like the NFL now, and I really like that. And I think we got some good games going. Indiana and Alabama, it's a great game. And then Oregon and Texas Tech, also a great game. That's the first one kicking off.
Yeah, I think the committee caught a whole bunch of heat just simply because they put JMU and Tulane in, and then they hid behind the criteria. Is that fair to say?
I see where you're going with that, yeah.
So I think that them hiding behind the criteria was kind of chicken scratch a little bit, but I see why they did it. But at the end of the day, it's hard, I think, for college football to go up against the NFL. That's why I opened with the TV numbers. The NFL, I believe in the 2 games they did versus college football, it was like 38 million views. But I will say the end of the Bears game was electric. With
okay, are you talking about the Bears Hawaii? Which game?
I'm talking Bears Packers from last weekend, that Saturday night game.
Oh, right. Well, I think what you said that resonated with me, if you're talking about James Madison and Tulane and Notre Dame's not getting into the playoffs, that's ridiculous. Because Notre Dame would have blown those teams out by 30 points.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame could have beat Oregon. I think they would have had a tougher task against Ole Miss. I think a lot of people, because Lane Kiffin left, Pete Golding came out and said it in his press conference. I don't know how much you follow the SEC, but Pete Golding came out in his press conference and said, well, there's no reason for Charlie Wise Jr., the LSU offensive coordinator, to come to Ole Miss and lay an egg in the playoffs versus Tulane, because he hears it all the time that it's Lane Kiffin's offense. And he came out and I think he shut a lot of people up by coming out and calling a masterclass and putting up 41 points on John Summerall and Tulane. Now, I get it. Ole Miss had better athletes at the time, but at the end of the day, I mean, Ole Miss is they're one of the top programs in the SEC. Pete Golding and the defense looked great, and then it comes down to they have Georgia coming up on the finale in the Sugar Bowl. I think that's going to be a whale of a game. Ole Miss had them. They were if they wouldn't have. If they wouldn't have had a turnover, they could have been up by 16 points going into the fourth quarter at Sanford Stadium. So I think that at the end of the day, it comes down to if Ole Miss can execute offensively and play solid on defense, I think they can give Georgia all they want.
Okay, and are they a big underdog versus Georgia? Is it 10 points, or do you know how much it is?
Let me look really quick, and I'll be able to tell you. So Georgia is favored by 6.5.
Okay, that seems a little bit low. I'd be tempted to go on Georgia and like a teaser or something there.
Yeah, I think it lines up to be a field goal game if Ole Miss can execute. It's going to be interesting, But I think with the college football playoff, I think that the diamond in the rough last year was the Buckeyes, because Ohio State, I think they covered every spread in their playoff games last year. So
I know they covered in the versus Notre Dame, and it was in jeopardy at one point. What is your opinion on the whole Oregon Texas Tech thing? Because I have an opinion that I sort of developed recently, and I haven't really been following along super closely this year, but I sort of can see a difference in the quality of the teams. I'm curious what you thought.
I think Texas Tech is for real on defense. It's going to depend on what they do on offense. If Texas Tech can stop Oregon and keep them under 28 points, Texas Tech can win the game. But I think the closer that Oregon tries to turn it into a track meet with tempo on offense, because I think Oregon's got, outside of Ohio State and a select few other programs, Oregon has elite athletes on offense. That's my concern with Texas Tech and Texas Tech's depth on defense, because I think Oregon is going to come out and try to turn it into a track meet. Texas Tech's going to have to slow their pace of play down a little bit, and I think they'll be okay, because I think if it comes down to it to where Oregon has to run the ball consistently against Texas Tech, I think they'll be in trouble.
Yeah, I think Oregon's in a lot of trouble from what I've seen. It looks like Oregon's defense is not that athletic, and I don't think I think Texas Tech is going to be able to score on them. And then if you look at Texas Tech, they've got one of the best defenses in the whole nation.
Yeah, and the big thing that some people are saying is not a red flag, but is a red flag. A lot of the Oregon fans have came out and wanted to argue about it. They said, well, Oregon in the second half took their foot off the gas. Well, at the end of the day, you have to look at how many points JMU scored in the second half as a pride on a defense. You cannot, in my opinion, you can't give up 28 second half points. That's just my opinion.
So that's how many points JMU scored in the second half?
Yeah, they scored 28. They scored 2 touchdowns each quarter.
Well, it's not just that, but if you look at when Indiana went up and played Oregon earlier in the season, it was a close game, and then Oregon took the lead, but they gave up a whole bunch of points to Indiana at home on their home field. I know Indiana's a really good team, but I mean, Indiana just sort of punked them out a little bit.
Well, what if I told you that JMU scored more second half points than Indiana did?
Yeah. No, I believe you. They scored 35 total, I think, right?
30. It was 30-20.
Okay.
30-20. 30. JMU scored 11 more points in the second half, and a lot of people want to say, well, they took the starters out, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. You want to make that argument, you can make it all day. But at the end of the day, you have to come to grips with, can Oregon stop people in the second half? It seems like it's a trend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Oregon is going to be able to stop Texas Tech at any point. And I think Oregon is going to have their hands full. I'm not saying Oregon's not going to score. I think Oregon probably has a pretty good offense, one of the best in the country. But this Texas Tech team is stiff at the back. A lot of teams that Oregon's been facing are not on that same quality. Like, I mean, if you look at the way Oregon went and played at Iowa, and they didn't score that many. I think they won a close game versus Iowa. I think you're going to look at a similar situation where Texas Tech is going to lock down Oregon, and then when Texas Tech is on offense, they're going to do whatever they want. That's the way I feel about it.
So you watch, assuming an abundance of college football, do you watch a lot of Big Ten or SEC? I'm assuming you're a Big Ten guy.
I'm sort of more or less like just all around. I just, whatever's interests me.
Okay. So what if I told you that I bet Texas Tech watched a lot of tape on what Wisconsin did to Oregon and what Iowa did to Oregon. And I will go out on a limb and say Texas Tech has better athletes on defense than both those two schools if you put them together. So I think that Kirk Ferentz and Luke Fickell are elite defensive minds. It's going to be interesting. And then we got Bucks Nation in the chat here says Arizona State threw the ball on Texas Tech in their only loss. Yeah, that is true. Well, I think Oregon's going to have to try to air it out and just dink and dunk and run when they can. But that's the big thing with me. I don't think Texas Tech really played any close games this year outside of they smashed BYU twice. But Arizona State, for some reason, going to the desert there, Arizona State is one of those places that Big 12 teams just wilt. I don't know if it's the sun or what, but Texas Tech was anemic on offense. But the thing I will say with Texas Tech is Arizona State gave up 15 points in the fourth quarter, and Texas Tech almost came back and won. So that's kind of.
Well, I don't think their starting quarterback was playing that game for Texas Tech. He was out that game.
Let me look.
That's what I heard earlier today.
Let me see box score. Will Hammond. Yeah, that is true. Texas Tech did not have their starting quarterback. They started Texas Tech started a freshman.
So if you're on the road and you're playing a freshman or whatever, it's a whole different atmosphere. You're a little scared. You don't trust them. Essentially they've never lost a game with their actual starter.
And they have beat almost everybody by 2 touchdowns that they played. And I get it. It's the Big 12. It's not the toughest conference in the world. So that's one way to look at it. So I think Texas Tech and Oregon is going to be one of the more fascinating games of the weekend. But I will say Vegas will get one spread wrong this weekend. Somebody's either going to cover it by a ton or they're not going to cover by a lot. There's going to be at least.
Well, I think, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And it sounds like we're both leaning towards Texas Tech winning that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Alabama-Indiana game, I think Alabama has a chance to win. I do think Indiana's probably rightly favored, but I know one of their best defensive linemen got hurt celebrating in the Big Ten championship game.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name's Staley or something like that, or Daly.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up to see if there's any news on that. I'm not really seeing anything, but yeah, I knew he had gotten hurt, but I just think as a whole, Alabama's got to try to run the football. And I think that a lot of the Alabama fans, and I know I'm going to get crucified for this one, but a lot of the Alabama fans are trying to roll out the helmet bias. They think just because they got the white numbers on the helmet and there's an IU on that helmet that it's not going to matter. I think it's going to matter majorly.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be more of a defensive game. If Alabama tries to run it, I think they could be in a little bit of trouble because I think Indiana's known for having a really good run defense.
Yeah, and nobody like Ohio State couldn't run the ball on Indiana, and they struggled a ton. So I think that's something to look at. And then I don't know Indiana's pass rush. Buckeyes Nation comes in and says this isn't your grandpa's Indiana, which I totally agree with that, because I got in a lot of arguments last year on this. I said, well, when Indiana lost leading up to the Ohio State game, this was my argument. I said Indiana is a good football team. They are a top 5 team in the nation. and everybody wanted to pick apart the schedule and they wanted to talk about the schedule. And I said, okay, that's fine. You can talk about the schedule all you want. They lose to Ohio State by like 15, right? So when Ohio State lost to Michigan, they wanted to claim the Indiana victory as a top 5 matchup on their resume. And I said, whoa, time out. I said, Buckeye fans, you can't claim Indiana after you guys sat back and talked a ton of mess about Indiana and said they weren't a worthy opponent and they didn't deserve to be in the college football playoff. But when you drop one to Michigan, all of a sudden we need to put that on our resume? No. That's talking out of both sides of the mouth there. And
okay. The Michigan's playing Texas pretty soon.
Yeah.
What do you think about that game?
I think Michigan needs to figure out who their head coach is going to be and try to stabilize their program. I think that's the big thing Michigan needs to do.
Okay. And where are you? Is this a new show that you started? Like, how long have you guys been going for?
Well, I think we've been at it for little under a year and 8 months, coming up on 2 years. This is our second full season on doing college football content. We're relatively unknown. We're just a couple of guys trying to bang around and talk some college football and see if we can do this, because I watch a lot of people out there that I think that our show stacks up equal to, and they have like 50,000 subscribers. So I decided to take this on. And a little bit about the show this year, we added doing watch parties, and typically I do I do the 7:30 game, like the big game on ABC, and then I open the phone lines in the second half, so we have some hee-hees, ha-has, and watch some football. And then typically we go Monday through Friday. And I think in the off season, I'm going to open it up kind of like this format, like the holiday format. Saturday night call-in show. You want to talk SEC, Big Ten, or anything under the sun? We can talk it.
Nice. Yeah. Well, no, it's been a pleasure to be on, and I would consider StreamYard, if you're bringing people on to like a call-in show. I don't know if you know what StreamYard is. I would take a look at it.
Yeah, I got StreamYard. I just run everything off my iPad and my mixer on the on the call-in show. For some reason, my iPad normally rings through the earphones, but for some reason it did not. But yeah.
Well, and I think what Texas Tech man said, that you just posted his comment on the screen, I agree with that. I mean, is this the first time Texas Tech has ever been in the college football playoff?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I mean, that's a pretty proud program. I mean, anybody who can afford a ticket is going to be driving over from Texas to Miami, wherever the game is, and trying to watch this game.
Oh yeah, and my thing is that Texas Tech, they had it put together there with Mike Leach. Mike Leach obviously got fired. I thought it was horseshit the way Mike Leach got fired. I don't know how far back you go into college football, but you should look into that story. It was because of Craig James, and Craig James worked at ESPN, and basically, it's tough for try to keep it PG, but his kid was just it was because it was his kid, and I think there was a lot more to that story. And Mike Leach, RIP to him, but I mean, he was a hell of a head football coach, and too bad he didn't get to see it to the end at Texas Tech, because I thought he would have brought them a national championship. But also on the Texas Tech side of things, I think them hiring Joey McGuire, unbelievable hire, hiring a high school football coach, a longtime high school football coach, to lead your program. Okay. And then they went out and they fundraised the money and they put a competitive team out there. A lot of people want to complain, but at the end of the day, if you have the resources to acquire the best kids, I get it. Lubbock is not the most desirable place, but at the end of the day, if you're acquiring the best kids, it's it's one of the top programs out there if you're looking for NIL compensation. And nobody complains about the Yankees, nobody complains about the Lakers. It's kind of to a certain extent, it's uncapped. And if Texas Tech has the means to funnel everything through Deloitte and get these kids paid, hey, more power to them. They figured it out. It's on, I think, the other programs to figure out how to go out there and fundraise and do the appropriate steps that they need to do to acquire the talent.
So where did they get this Joey McGuire guy from? Because I saw him the other day, and I don't remember him. I guess he's a high school coach. Was he a championship coach or something?
Yeah, he won a bunch of state championships in Texas high school football, and Texas Tech took a chance on him because the program was down. And then I can't think of the guy's name, but the oil and gas guy decided, I sold my company, I'm going to invest in this and try to bring a championship to Texas Tech. And that's just like some of the other programs out there that struggle with NIL that are on the same level as Texas Tech. You're either going to commit to it or you're not. That's kind of my opinion.
Yeah, I think they got a shot. I think they're kind of a long shot to win the championship. I don't know if they can pull off the whole thing, but they're definitely right there.
I think my top 3 to win the championship, really top 4, is Indiana, Ohio State, Ole Miss, and Georgia are my top guys. But realistically, I think if Texas Tech comes out there and let's say they smash Oregon, I think Texas Tech is my dark horse to win it all. I don't hate the idea of Texas Tech winning it all. So there's that. And also, before I kick you back to the chat, where are you from, my friend?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Man.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Sin City out there, man. That is out in the desert. I figured me going at this time of night, I would get a pretty decent West Coast crowd. But if you do us the biggest favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and that would help us a ton.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Absolutely.
Oh, no. Are you watching this Cal-Hawaii game right now?
I wasn't watching it. What's going on?
We got a huge brawl, benches cleared, Hawaii players, Cal players. We have a brawl going on. This is the second brawl of bowl season. I think that this is where the bowl season's going to come to die.
Oh, man. Yeah, I tried to turn it on, and it's on a commercial or something.
Yeah, there was a flag at the end of the game. Cal was trying to lateral. It is kind of a excrement storm going on right now. I think they've got they're clearing the Hawaii kids off. I know that this is a big thing because I'm pretty sure a lot of these kids probably know each other. I know Cal goes over and gets a lot of kids off the rock and all that stuff like that. So there is that. But
yeah, the Cal coach was from Hawaii. That was his alma mater. And then their 2 top players, I think, also were Hawaiian kids.
Yeah, and Hawaii threw a last-second touchdown, and then Cal had it, and they didn't score. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that know each other. That's a big win for Hawaii and Tommy Chang.
Okay, so Hawaii got the win?
Yeah, Hawaii got the win. The game is final, but Rogue, I appreciate you, man. I wish you a Merry Christmas.
For sure, man. I appreciate you also, and thanks for having me on. Well, I'll call in again maybe a week or two once we're a little further into the playoffs.
Oh yeah, we'll be live. I'll probably do a watch party for every playoff game. So
all right.
A lot of that, but yeah, I do use the StreamYard, and also appreciate you, man. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if we don't talk in between then.
All right, same to you, man. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Bye. That was Rogue from the from the chat just found the show. See, that's what happens whenever you do new things and you get outside the comfort box. Sorry if old Texas Tech man 9144 Craig James is a douchebag. Texas Tech is better than Texas. McGuire's a high school coach, then Baylor coach. Texas Tech, Georgia Natty. McGuire's the top 7 coach. Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, Texas Tech has the resources to acquire talent. And if you don't like it, go out there and find some resources. That's all I can say. Glad I found you just subscribed. Appreciate you. And also after the first of the year, we're gonna do a rebranding of the show as well. Appreciate this subscribing. Old Texas Tech man, if you want to call in and talk some tech ball, phone line is open, or if anybody wants to call Rogue here, thumbs up. Yeah. But if you guys want to call in, we'll keep this open for a little bit longer. If you want to call in, give us a call. Number to call, 260-255-4069 is the number to call if you want to call in. So there is that. But yeah, I'll try to keep the iPad where I can see it. Number to call, 260-255-4069. Also, if you want to hit that like and subscribe button, that helps us grow the channel even more. Appreciate Rogue for calling in, and also wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Probably if we don't get no calls, we're probably going to cut it off for the night. But yeah, hitting the like and subscribe button is our most important quality here, because we are on the road to 500. But yeah, so there's that. Can't call in. I will say next time you go to College Station, make sure you wear a face mask so you don't smell that. Texas Tech man, sub to the show. I think probably tomorrow night we're going to do a call-in show as well for all you guys out there watching. Probably go 7:30 Eastern as well. And then Buckeye Nation, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you guys. But yeah, that's kind of what we do here. Whenever I open the phone lines to everybody, I let the people talk. We're not going to scream and yell and do the whole argument thing. Now, if I disagree or if you say something completely crazy, I also do have the mute button on my side of it so I can get my point across. Old Texas Tech man, Jesus is king. Yes, sir. So I think that we have a whale of a playoff that's going to go on. Also, we're going to be live Friday, and I think we're going to be live Saturday too. I think we're just going to go 6 days. 6 days of 6 days this week of a couple days open to the phone lines. Typically for you new folks out there, we will put whether it's a call-in show in the title just to help you guys out so you don't have an expectation of, oh, this every show's a call-in show. Not every show's a call-in show. I do get my the other part in here, Richie Williams. He helps co-host the show with me. So there's that. Merry Christmas. Good night. Yes, sir. Texas Tech man, appreciate you. Appreciate all the new people that found the show. I knew going into this, I thought it was going to be a good idea to do a Christmas Eve thing, and I think Christmas is a good time to reflect, and this, 15 years ago, this was the best time of the year, when you were out there, when bowls meant something before the college football playoff. But at the end of the day, if it meant for us to sacrifice the bowl season to get the college football playoff, I think sometimes hard decisions have to be made. I really do believe that. And definitely will turn on my notifications now. Yeah. So appreciate you, Buckeye Nation. Even though whatever the big night game is, that's what we do. It's typically, all last year was basically SEC, a couple ACC, but I think it's good for other people to watch a different brand of football as well. So there is that. Also, the NBA still tries to do the Christmas thing. I don't know how many of you guys out there are NBA fans, but it kicks off at noon tomorrow. Cavs, Knicks. That's going to be background noise for me. There's 3 NFL games on. Like, who we fooling here? That's just kind of where I'm at on it. It's going to be a fascinating time. I will say that much. Going forward in the college football playoff, I'm just happy we have a playoff. And also be posting content from other shows, probably some of the stuff from tonight. Also, we're on Instagram. Follow the show page on Twitter. It's the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. Same thing on Instagram. NBA is pretty lame until the playoffs. Yeah, not 100% wrong there. But at the end of the day, the TV networks are struggling for programming at this time. But I think all 3 of the NFL games tomorrow are on Netflix. I'm pretty sure that all 3 of those games tomorrow are on Netflix. I guess I could run over that slate real quick, do a little NFL quick hit. Dallas Commanders, and then Lions, Vikings, and then Broncos, Chiefs. And then the Saturday games, you know what? We might do a watch party for Ravens, Packers if it's Saturday night. Might do a watch party since there's no college football. Might do a watch party for that one. So there is that. I don't know, what does the college football slate look like? Bunch of stuff Friday. Clemson plays Saturday. Ooh, LSU Houston. That could be compelling, maybe. I don't know. Depends on who plays, but Texas Michigan is Wednesday. What would that Wednesday be? Oh, they play New Year's Day. Yeah, probably. That'll be on like TV3 or something. But there is that. Also, I'll give it one last call. One last call for alcohol. Phone line is open. Number to call, 260-255-4069. Last call. You got a minute. And then we're going to be at about an hour. We're a little past midnight. So if we have no phone calls, we will end the stream. But I'll take this time to thank Richie for hanging out this year with us, putting a lot of time in. I put a lot of time in as well. We do it for the people out there watching. Some people don't always like what we do, but we're going to keep doing it because I pay the bills around here. And if you don't like it, that's tough took-us, my friends. So there is that. Also, iPad hasn't rang yet. So with that being said, we wish you a Merry Christmas from the Andre Duke Show with Carter Smith. And we will probably catch you guys tomorrow around 7:30 Eastern. Appreciate everybody. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.